and we will begin our next decrease. So yarn over, go through that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through all of those loops. And then what you want to do is put your little stitch marker in to show that that is our first stitch. And we're just going to work a single double crochet into each of those along until we reach those last 2 stitches again. And this just helps to bring that hat in to create that little pointed shape that we want. So here we are, last 2 stitches. And we'll begin that decrease. So yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, and you can remove that stitch marker now. Go through that stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through all of those loops. And that is the end of row 2 of that bit of a hat. And you just want to do your little chain 1, turn your work, and begin the next decrease. There we go, into the first one, and into the second, and pull through all of them. You want to put your little stitch marker on. I find this quite useful. You don't have to do this if you know you're going to remember which stitch you need to go into, but I can be a bit forgetful. And then you want to do your single double crochets into each of those stitches along until you reach the last 2. Here we go. Starting our last decrease of that row. Removing the stitch marker, going back into that stitch and pulling through all of them. And chain 1, turn your work, and start the decrease stitch there. So yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through the next one, yarn over, go through, and pull through all of them. And I am going to just pop my stitch marker in, making sure it's the right one, and continuing on with those double crochets until I reach the last 2 stitches. And there's our last decrease stitch of the row. And pull through all of the loops. There we go. So chain 1, turn your work, do that decrease, pull through, and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and through all of those loops. Put your little stitch marker on, and double crochet till you reach the last 2 stitches. As you can see, you're beginning to gain that shape now. And sometimes it can be a bit tricky to remove those little stitch markers. There we go. Chain 1, turn your work, and go in for your decrease stitch, pull through all 3, and then into the next one you work another decrease stitch into the last stitch, remove that, and here we go. And here you want to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, into the second chain from hook. You're going to work a slip stitch into the next chain a single crochet, and into the next chain a half double crochet. And what this does is create a nice little peak. So you want to take that, attach it into the last little stitch we have, and you can pull up your loop and cut it off. And that creates a nice point, a little crooked point. And that is the basic shape of the hat done. It looks a little bit out of shape at the minute, but once you've blocked it, it helps to just put it back into shape. So I've just stitched my ends in, and that is the basic shape of the hat. And I'll show you where to go next. You want to create a little band that will go across. So you can take your purple and create a little slip knot. You can put your hook into that one and chain 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. That should chain 15. Sorry, I lost the beginning of this footage. You then want to go into the second chain from hook, and you're going to do a half double crochet into each along. What you want to do is yarn over, go into your chain, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. And that is how you do it. And you want to do that for all 14 of the chains along. And then you want to pull up a bit of yarn and cut that and stitch in those ends. And that is the little band. So here we have it. A little bit out of focus, there we go. That is the band for the hat. I've just stitched in my ends there. And this you want just at the top of that brim. So we're just going to stitch that on. Sometimes it does curl and it sits a bit nicely with that curl like that. So what you want to do is you want to get your purple yarn again, cut a bit off. You don't need too much, just enough to stitch it on. Put that onto your needle. You don't need to tie a knot or anything. Just leave a little loop length at the end and just stitch that in place. I actually like to just sort of wrap it around the ends like this. You can do it however you find best, and you just take it through the loops. Oh, a little bit out of focus, here we go. So you can take it through those chain loops or however you wish. This is how I like to do it, it keeps it a little bit neater. You just want to make sure you're holding it in the correct place that you want the band to be. So here we go. Going through those little loops. And that's me, I've just finished stitching it on. And what I like to do is I like to take that through to the other side and tie it up and stitch in the ends, which is what I've done here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make the little buckle. So you want to take your yellow or your gold yarn and attach that onto your needle. You want to make sure it's somewhat central, and you take that up I am choosing here. So take that up, leave a length at the back, you don't want to pull that all the way through. You want to make a loop. So do not pull your yarn all the way through, you want to create a little loop. I like to go into the middle of the band and bring up my needle. And then you want to hook that loop over and pull through the loop. And this creates this little chain. And you go back through, leave the loop again. And I like to put my needle up through at the top of the band now. So it's like two chains to a width. And when you turn the corner, you just turn your work and you keep that chain going round. So the buckle looks somewhat like it's around the band. You just want to make sure you don't pull those chains through and don't pull too tight, as you'll see me do here. There we go. And back into the middle of the band, so you match the other side of that. There we go. Pulling too tight. It's okay, you can correct this, as you'll see me do in a second. Just pull up that one, and then you can just wiggle your needle, pull it a bit looser. There we go. Here we go. Next chain. Meeting up with the top one, bringing it up through the middle, through that loop. And for the last, to finish this off, what you need to do is you take the needle and you go through that beginning chain, through behind the two, pull it round, and then you just go back through that chain. And all you need to do here, there we go, there's the chain. All you need to do is you turn it, and you can just tie those two ends together. I like to do a few knots, although when you do block it, the glue will help hold that knot in place. So I just do 3 knots and then snip off those ends. You can stitch them if you like. I don't find any need to. When I know I'm gonna block it and glue it in a minute. There we go. And there is your finished little hat. Once it's blocked, it will pull it back into shape. And you can just go straight through the top when you attach that to your chain, like this. On this one I have added a little star. If you watch the cauldron tutorial, you can see how I do this. I just like to add a little something extra. But I have blocked these ones. These are ones I've blocked before, as are the cauldrons. And that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. Please do subscribe. Keep a watch out for our next tutorial, our last tutorial of the series, and do leave a like and a comment. If there's anything you'd like to know, please do ask. I will do my best to get back to you. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!